Do you really care if this is a bubble or not? Like, is that something that investors should spend their time worrying about?
I've been studying bubbles my whole career. I did a big deep dive on sort of these expensive meme stocks, if you want to call them that, back in 1999 during the tech bubble. It's a hard thing to define because, like, the internet bubble was a bubble, but the promises about the internet all came true. It's just,
Right.
they got ahead of itself, and it's hard to measure, like, to properly value something that is new. And so back then we were like looking at, eyeball counts and things like
Yeah, and
that.
so
And
many of
then
those companies were unprofitable. Throw a chart up here. We got one more chart of yours. You show the Mag 7 along with their trailing EPS and their payout. And this is the hard part I have wrapping my head around is the fact that the fundamentals are matching these companies. That's the hard part, is that these companies are cash flow producing machines, and it's not like they're getting so far ahead of themselves. And maybe they can or they will if they overborrow and continue to overspend, but that's the hard part to me to handicap, is these are the biggest, best companies in the world, and they've been using their cash flow for much of this investment. How do you square that with the bubble talk?
exactly. So the Mag 7, as you can see in the chart, their earnings are there to support the price. So most of the performance has come from earnings. They trade at about a 35 PE. Which of course is higher than the market, which is trading at 25, but it's not at crazy levels, right? So the 1990s, the late 90s, the top 50 companies, I looked at it as the Nifty 50 reborn, were trading at 2x the multiple as the rest of the market. And what happened from 98 to 2000, the bottom 450 stocks just kind of traded sideways, and the top 50 went to the moon, and their PE doubled to 40 relative to the 20 that the rest of the market was trading in. And then you had like the pets.com and that all of that stuff in hindsight, but even in real time was a bubble. But again, like, I wrote about that in 1999, and these bubbles always go much longer than people think. And so now, like, I don't think we're in a bubble yet. We may go there, maybe we won't. I look at the Goldman Sachs non-profitable tech index or basket, and that thing is really springing to life. Like, those were the meme stocks back in 21. Those are getting the animal spirits, but at the top of the house, the Mag 7, it's still a very solid thing. Unlike the internet boom, this is a very capital intensive thing. All the data centers, all the power, by some estimates, once this thing is up and running and it's fully functional, just the cost of maintaining, like, the data centers and all this stuff, it's going to be like $1 trillion a year. So you better come up with some killer app that is going to be multiples of that. That's where it becomes harder to kind of know where this is going to land.